This is a 2005 Subaru STI. In 2025, this car is 20 years old. It has a turbocharged Boxer engine, some speakers, a radio, AM, FM, and a CD player, airbags, halogen lights, air conditioning, and more basic stuff. But it doesn't have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, it doesn't have Bluetooth, it doesn't have a screen or GPS, no heated steering wheel, no heated seats, no LED lights. And this is the same Subaru, a 2021 Subaru STI. And this car has all of the extra features that the 2005 doesn't have. And in some cases, the 2005 is still better. But how? Well, here's some reasons. I think old cars are sometimes better than new cars to be bought. And remember, I said sometimes. And the information in this video is not based on any sources at all. It's just me. This is what I think. Anyways, the first reason is looks. The looks of new cars aren't bad, but they all kinda look the same. They have sharp lines, angry looks, flashy wheels. When you look at a highway, if they're all new cars, you can't really see a difference, in my opinion. And not all of them are like this. Of course, there's a lot of cars that are new and have stunning looks, but for some models, the old versions look better. For example, if you look at the 1998 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 5, based on looks, it looks better than the 2008 Lancer Evo X, which is newer. Some people still prefer the old Bronco over the new model. You can see this in the Nissan Z as well. And this is also based on what you like. It's not about just only the older one looks better. A lot of people like these cars older. The Chevy Corvette looks better old to some people. The Mazda RX-7, the BMW M4 or the M5, and many more cars just like this that look better old rather than new. And the same goes the opposite way. There are a lot of cars that look better new rather than old.
Initial D.
The second reason on this list is price. And of course, when you talk about the price of something old and the same thing new, you have to consider inflation. But even considering that, new cars are still kind of hard to buy with a full payment these days. Let's say you just turned 18, got your license, and you're in 2005. You go with your dad to buy your first car, and the cars are pricey for the time. You have Mustangs, Camaros, and they're not cheap. So you settle for a Dodge Neon SRT4 you paid $21,000 for. It's a good car, fun, and looks great. Now let's go to 2025. You go buy your son his first car. Like usual, the other cars are expensive, so you think, I'll buy him a car, cheap and good looking for his age, just like how I bought my first car. You settle on a 2025 Honda Civic Type R, and you're $45,000 in deep. Remember, both these cars are in the same category and they are just in different times. Not only that, but the insurance on the older car will be cheaper and you can buy the older car fully paid off. You won't have to deal with any monthly payments or interest rates. You will be sleeping better too knowing that Reaper won't be coming for your car anytime soon in case you miss a payment.
Initial D.
The third reason is features you might not need in your car and still pay for it. The new features in cars nowadays are good and they all have a purpose, but some of them you might not need, so I pay the extra for it. For example, automatic parking. I don't know about most people, but in all my life I've never seen anyone use this feature. I don't know if they don't trust it or they just don't care and park their cars themselves. And to be honest, parking isn't that hard once you get used to your car, the size of it, and practice a bit. Another feature is auto braking. I remember once we had a 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee that had this feature. I was trying to park it and when I was looking at the back camera, I knew how much closer I could go. And I didn't know this car had this feature. Suddenly the car made a noise and stopped and I got scared that I might have hit something or something in the car broke. My dad just told me from the window that you're good. It was just the auto braking that went off. And instantly, then I knew this feature was actually so stupid and I didn't like it. There's more of these features like auto start stop, screens everywhere, push button start, expensive navigation systems. You can just use your phone, like you have it on you everywhere.
Initial D.
The fourth reason is old cars are more fun. But don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean new cars are boring. Well, they actually are kinda boring. But in newer cars, you have to deal with too much electronics. In some cars, you can't turn off the traction control, or you might not even get the option to. And when it comes to the majority of new cars, car companies nearly have all their cars with front-wheel drive. They're not as fun as rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Back in the day, Rear-wheel drive was more common in cars, say a SUV or a sedan, but pickup trucks were always rear-wheel drive and 4x4, and they still are today. Newer cars have a lot of limitations to enjoy them, and they took away the features you might like in some type of cars. If you like to buy a car with a manual transmission, it's not easy to find a newer model with a manual, but in older cars, you can easily find them. Both transmissions are good, automatic and manual, but the manual transmission option is near extinct in newer cars. And when it comes to modding your car, it's easier in older cars because you don't have to deal with programming the electronics of the car too much. In newer models, this has become very difficult, and you have to go back to the dealership for most of the issues or any upgrades you want to do.
Initial D.
Reason number 5, in my opinion, is that old cars give you peace of mind. If you like a car that's new and you know you're really gonna enjoy it, then you should buy it. But there's a consequence to that, and that is you're worried. When you park it, someone might hit it or steal it in the middle of the night. You're worried that if you make a mistake with the car, it will cost you a lot. You're worried before anything happens. And unfortunately, if it happens, then you're devastated and feel bad that someone hit your car or you hit a pothole and ruined your suspension by accident. This is based on the person who owns the car. There's people who don't really get bothered by it, but there's also people who get really upset when something happens to their new car. When you have an older car, you don't worry as much. Someone hit your bumper, you don't really care. You hit a pothole hard and your suspension is damaged, you just go to the junkyard, get the parts and fix it yourself. If one of your friends spilled coffee on your seats, you don't worry and still enjoy your trip. You paid $3,000 for this car and it's paid off, so who cares? And no one is gonna think about stealing your car because it doesn't have value to them. That's how an old car can give you peace of mind, in my opinion.
Initial D.
Reason number 6 is that old cars are easier to work on. For most of the new cars today, you can't work on them yourself as much as older ones. Today, car companies have put so much restrictions on their cars and their electrical systems that you need to go back to them and pay them for a minor repair. For example, some new cars you don't get the option to change the light bulb or the LED of your headlight. The headlight comes sealed from factory, and when your light goes out, you have to replace the whole headlight. And when you get a problem in the system, they don't give you a reset button or a simple solution. The car will tell you on the screen to visit the dealership. The starter in a car is responsible for turning the engine and starting it. It will go bad eventually and need to be replaced like every other part of the car. Now, for a very long time, the starter has been on the outside in the engine bay and has been easy to replace based on the car anyways. Well, in some new cars, the starter is inside the transmission, so if it ever goes bad, you have to pull the transmission out to replace it. Why change something that worked fine before? I don't know how they see this as an improvement. If you want to do it yourself, you will experience hell. Older cars are much more simple and you can fix them, work on them, modify them much easier than new cars. They don't have all that extra stuff, so you can fix it yourself cheaper and you will learn some good information about your car. Learn how to fix most things on it without the companies drying your wallet.
Initial D.
Reason number 7 is that old cars cost less to repair and buy parts for. When it comes to repairs on cars, the newer models are complicated, and that means if you're not a mechanic, you're not familiar with the new tech, then you can't work on it yourself. And repairing anything complicated means it will cost more. But for old cars, it can be easier. But I won't consider German cars because they are complicated since they made cars. No hate though, it's just the way they are. In older models, you have less things to go bad, and when they do, the car makes it obvious what it is, and most of the time you can fix it yourself. And when it comes to prices, there are times a part is kinda rare because they are complicated or the company didn't make that many of it. In those cases, you can go to a junkyard, get the part off another car for 1/3 of the price. And while doing these things, you get to know stuff on your car and help someone on the side of the road. You might even find it enjoyable to work on your car and have your own touch in it.
Initial D.
There are other reasons in many situations that older cars might be better, and of course there's places that new ones are better. But when you go to buy a car, if you don't have the budget for a new one, that doesn't mean getting an old car is bad. When you're getting a car, be patient, explore your options, and choose a car that chooses you.
The driver don't pick the car. The car pick the driver.
If you don't care about the things that I mentioned, then buying an older car is better for you. But if you want those features and looks, that's your choice. The heat in every car guy's heart is slowly getting weaker, with all the regulations and all our favorite brands converting to electrical cars. There might come a day where we see them as just transport.